So what is meant by the cloud? Cloud is the large amount of space available to store and maintain user data. Cloud is the pool of computing resource like the network, server, storage application and services. It is released by the service provider. We can able to see the diagram here. The internet, or we can call this is the cloud. So whatever the data is available in the cloud, we can access the data from anywhere in the worldwide. So this is nothing but your cloud, and we can call it is the primary server. So primary server is access the data from the cloud, and it is send that data to the server. It is send the data to the client. So client can access the cloud directly. Means whatever the data we want, we can save into the cloud. The cloud is the large amount of space available to store and maintain the user data. If we are having the large amount of data, we can place that data into the cloud, or we can access that data by using the cloud. So there are the various type of the cloud. So first we will see the model cloud. What are the models present in the cloud computing? There are basically the three models of the cloud computing. First one is the infrastructure as a service, second one is the platform as a service, and third one is the software as a service. We will see one by one. First one is the infrastructure as a services. So infrastructure means its name indicate that whenever the user is required the particular infrastructure, or we can call if the service whatever the user want to access to storage, networking service or the server and other computing devices via the cloud. So instead of we can use the infrastructure of the cloud, instead of purchasing the personal hardware, user can pay for the, we can pay the amount whatever the amount is required for that particular infrastructure, we can pay. Instead of purchasing, we can on demand, we can take the benefit of that particular infrastructure. So instead of purchasing the personal hardware, user can pay for the infrastructure as a services on demand. Infrastructure is scalable. It is depending on the processing and storage need of the user. It is the scalable. If user want, or according to the user need, we can whatever the need of the user, whatever the need of the scalable means, it can be, you can access it in the large amount, you can access in the small amount. So it is depend upon the user need. Next one is the IaaS service can save the cost of buying and maintaining their own hardware. If the infrastructure as a service provide us a service, so there is a no need to buy and there is no need to maintain their own hardware. We can just take advantages for paying a particular to the infrastructure as a services. So what are the example of the infrastructure as a services? The first example is Amazon Web Services. So Amazon Web Services is nothing but the IaaS cloud. We can take the infrastructure for performing our task. Next one is the Microsoft Azure VM Google Computing Engine. So we can remember the infrastructure as a services as we can use the infrastructure, or we can use the devices, we can use the hardware for our use. For that purpose we have to pay to the particular owner of that particular hardware. Okay. Next one is the platform as a services. So the platform as a services, it provide the numbers of cloud platform to the user to customize, design, develop and test their application. If you want to test and if you want to design a particular application into a particular devices or particular platform, so you can access that platform. Again you have to pay for the same, no need to purchase or no need to purchase the particular platform. The key features of the platform as a services are, it provides the platform tools to test, develop and host application. So whenever the user need to testing a particular application to design and to develop, so they can use the platform as a services. Next one is the, it provides managed security, operating systems, server software and the backup. If there is a failure in your whatever, if there is a failure of the electricity, then ultimately whatever the backup and the data will automatically get saved into the platform as a services. Means it is provide the backup facility. Then it provides the facility to collaboration work even if the team work is remotely. Again, if you want to access the platform as a services remotely, you can access it because of it provide the facility to the teamwork remotely. Next one is the software as a services. A software as a services, it provide the software and the application through the internet. The user do not need to install the software on their local machine. Instead of that, they can use the software as a services. For this, suppose we are taking the example, you want to convert the PDF file into the Word, but online converter is available, so that online converter is convert your PDF file into the Word file and it save into the, or it will send into your email address. So ultimately there is no need to install the particular software into your system, so you can utilize that software for your work, and that is nothing but your software as a services. So what are the key features of the software as a services? The first key feature is user do not have to manage, install or the upgrade software. So software as a service provide can manage the files, means there is a no need of installation, upgradation of the software. Next, data is secured on the cloud. If the local equipment are the failed, so there is a no worry, the data will ultimately will get a save into the cloud. Next is the application service are accessible from anywhere in the world easily. We can access the service in the worldwide, so that the software as a services is play a very important role. So what are the example of the software as a services? The first example is Google G Suites, GitHub, SAP, Slack and the Dropbox. These are the example of the software as a services. Next is type of the cloud computing. The first, there are basically the three type of the cloud computing. The first type is the public cloud, private cloud and the hybrid cloud. We will see one by one. First one is the public cloud. Its name indicates that in the public cloud all the services and the supporting infrastructure are managed offset over the internet, and it is shared across the multiple user. For this, suppose we are taking the example of if you want to access the whatever the local cloud, or we can access the public cloud. Suppose we are taking the example, our Sanjeevani cloud is available to the user, any user can access it. That is, if it is the facility to, if the person is come into the range and that person can access the particular internet connection, so that process is called as the public cloud. We can take the example of airport also. In the airport, the whatever the internet facility is available, that is publicly available for the all the people who are come under the range of that particular airport. So that process or that type of cloud is called as the public cloud. So the public cloud are more efficient and inexpensive than the private and the hybrid cloud. Public cloud means it is a, there is a no need to means add the your name and the there is no requirement of, no need to purchase, you can access it if there you are in the range. So examples are the Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform. These are the example of your public cloud. Next one is the private cloud. As its name indicates that the private cloud is limited for the several user, or we can call it is, as the name suggests, private cloud provide the IT service through the internet or private network to the selected user rather than the all users. Means it is limited for the particular user, and all the data is protected behind the firewall. So whatever the data you want to access, that is protected by the firewall. Only the particular IP addresses can access that cloud, and that cloud is called as the private cloud. So private cloud is performed to enhance the security and the privacy of the user. So basically the private cloud is used in the industry purposes, or if they want to access, if there is a very secured information exchange, so at that time they are using the private cloud. Next one is the hybrid cloud. The hybrid cloud is the combination of your public and the private cloud. So the hybrid cloud environment it combines both public and the private cloud element. Hybrid cloud user, or it use the encrypted equipment, it use the encrypted environment for the communication and provide the portability for the application. Hybrid cloud is the more flexible than the public and the private cloud. Why it is more flexible? Because of hybrid cloud is having the combination of the public and the private. So ultimately the public can access the private network or by using the user ID and the password. For this purpose, suppose we are taking the example, if the Sanjeevani is having their internet connection is the public, but if you want to access that, if they are make it as a private, so you have to register your IP address into the system, then and then only you can access the particular internet connection. So we will stop here. Next parts we will see the next part in the next slide.